Hello friends. I'm gonna cut right to the chase. Today I'm tiering every legendary Pokemon based on how much of a friend they are. Now, what does a friend mean in this context? Simple. A friend is cute and lovable, someone I want to give a big ol' huggy, someone I would probably want a plushie of, and someone I'd hope would give me a ride home from the airport at 4 a.m. So S tier is obviously the best and highest tier that one can obtain in this session, and F is the lowest tier. If someone is in F tier, it means they are no friend of mine, and I would like it if they were far, far away from me. Okay, now that everything is hopefully clear, and we know what we're doing, let's get into it. Okay, we'll start with the Kanto legendaries, Articuno. I mean, even though I have an Articuno named Frosted Flake in Pokemon Go, I'm still not really enthusiastic about it. C. Zapdos. I mean, don't hate it. Still not enthusiastic about it. C. Moltres. That's Hot Wings. I mean, I know it'd burn the life out of me, but it's still charming in its own way. A. Mewtwo. I mean, how could you not see the movie and not want to just love him for the rest of eternity? S. Moving on to Johto Raikou. The Johto trio is really forgettable for me. I don't know. Sorry if you like Johto, but this is a saber-toothed tiger, and that's about it for me. D. Entei. His face looks like a star, but that does not make him one. D. Suicune. That's probably how you pronounce it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Blue dog thing. Maybe horse. But D. Lugia. Look at those hands. They're so big and involved. Great for hugging. A. Ho-Oh. Look, I know Ho-Oh stuck around and revived the Johto trio when the Brass Tower burned down, but it spends too long doing its eyeliner in the morning and would miss my flight and miss picking me up. D. Oh baby, I can hear the trumpets now. Hoenn! I'm gonna make this real easy. Regirock, Regice, Registeel. Yeah, F. Latios and Latias. Like, they're cool in their own way. Be honest, I did kind of forget that they're from Hoenn, because I don't think I saw them enough, if that makes any sense. But they're cool, nothing against them. C. Kyogre and Groudon. Look, I really like the Weather Trio, but these two love to hate each other, and that makes them brats. B for brats. Can't forget the responsible adult of this trio, which is Rayquaza. Literally comes down from the atmosphere just to stop these two from being absolute babies. And you know what? That's a friend. A. I feel like the people who constantly ask for a Sinnoh remake are the equivalent to a kid on a road trip constantly asking his parents if they're there yet. No, you are not there yet, bud, and now the trip is gonna feel like even longer. Anyways, Sinnoh. Uxie, the knowledge Pokemon. What a little sweetie. I think it's the closed eyes that really do it for me, but that just screams friend. A. Mesprit. I believe Mesprit's the emotion Pokemon. If that's the case, I have too many emotions. Thank you very much. D. Azelf. Pretty sure this is the willpower Pokemon. We can talk about willpower when I put a large McDonald's fry in front of you. Middle of the road. C. Dialga. Okay, have you have you guys ever seen like peeled Pokemon? Peeled Dialga? Like, come on, look at that. You can't resist that face. A. Palkia. Palkia has the body of like a Heatmore and constantly looks like it wants to bite me, but I still really like Palkia, so B for bite. Regigigas. Now, despite where I put the other Reggies on this list, I find Regigigas quite charming in his own way. And he sounds like an auto-tuned fax machine in the Hoopa movie. A. Heatran. Ew. F. Cresselia. It's a moon duck. She looks like she'd be way too snooty to even consider picking me up from anywhere, let alone the airport, so D. Giratina. Giratina is a precious little dumpling. My baby. If I could have a full-size Giratina plushie, I definitely would. It would fill up my house and I'd have no regrets. I want to give them a big ol' huggy, and I love them to bits. S. Unova. Have you guys ever just looked at someone and immediately felt irritated? Yeah, well, that's the feeling that I get when I look at the Swords of Justice. We're excluding Keldeo from this bunch because it's a mythical Pokemon. Believe me, if I could roast it in this video, I would, but this is not the time. I don't know. Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion, just they never really vibed with me. There wasn't really anything notable, at least in my eyes. We're gonna give a D to Cobalion and Terrakion. Virizion gets a C only because his name reminds me of Verizon Wireless, and that makes me giggle. Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus. Okay, if anyone at all watching this video likes one or all three of these Pokemon, please tell me why in the comments. No disrespect to you, you're completely valid in that. I cannot fathom, and I do not know a single person that likes these Pokemon. It's gonna be an F for far, far away from me. Reshiram. Or Reshiram. What? How do you pronounce this? Hold on. Okay, Reshiram. I like Reshiram, so B. Zekrom. Oh, Zekrom kind of looks like a little dinosaur on the head, and only because of that, B. Gosh, another one that makes me nervous to read. One second. Kyurem. Wow, I feel like people are gonna hate me for saying it that way, but that's how I read it. It wants everything to do with Reshiram and Zekrom, and nothing to do with me, so D. And we've made it to Kalos. Xerneas. You know, I feel like I'm having another Cresselia moment where I'm like, you look a little snooty. But I remember when I played X, when Xerneas appeared, I got like the biggest chills for some reason. So C for chills. Yveltal. Alright, I know we're not talking about like the shiny versions of these legendaries, but let's do that for Yveltal so I can make this argument. That's bacon. A. Zygarde. Okay, I'm gonna talk about the 50% form because that one's my favorite. Zygarde is another, like, Rayquaza, kind of monitors the balance between Xerneas and Yveltal. I mean, Xerneas and Yveltal don't act like supreme babies, but hey, Zygarde's still doing a good job. The job of a friend, and that's an S. Alola. Type Null. This Pokemon looks like it wants nothing to do with me. Everything to do with Gladion, though. And because of that, we'll give it a D. Does not want to be my friend yet. Savali. Savali evolves when it's leveled up with high friendship, but I did not evolve my type Null, so C. Tapu Koko. Besides the fact that I can't move past what Tapu Koko sounds like in Smash Brothers, I feel like this Pokemon would spend way too long just trying to tell me about its workout routine, and I'm not really about that, so C. Tapu Lele. We're just gonna cover my bias right here. I really like the color pink, and as you can see, Tapu Lele is pink. But she's also really cute. Looks like she's coming out of a little shell. It's adorable. A. Tapu Bulu. Am I the only one that thought Tapu Bulu was Fire Fairy? No, it's not. It's Grass Fairy, and for some reason I can't make that stick in my head. Tapu Bulu constantly looks like it's flexing, and friends don't flex on friends, you get a D. Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini is a really, really pretty Pokemon. Water fairy, kind of reminds me of a mermaid, has its arms already stretched out, ready for that hug. A. Nebby, or Cosmog. This is a baby. Like, how can you look at that face and just not want to burst into tears of pure happiness? S. Cosmoem. Okay, so according to Bulbapedia, Cosmoem weighs 2,204.4 pounds. And while I love Cosmoem, I do not have the emotional or physical capabilities to support it. So, B. Solgaleo. This is a big space kitty. Solgaleo looks like the type to really be there for its friends. Very supportive, very loyal, very fierce. A. Lunala. I'm going to show my bias again, because I played Pokémon Moon. And at the end of the game, when Lily and Lunala had that little moment, that little brief conversation, I cried like a baby. S. Necrozma. Necrozma does not want to be my friend, nor do I want to be its friend. It looks like someone who would watch the way that I play Pokemon, feel the need to tell me that I'm playing it incorrectly and that my team is nowhere near competitively viable. D. And we're just about at the end. Galar. Zation. I'll preface this section by saying that I wasn't really enthused by the legendaries in Galar, but I definitely was enthused by the memes. Zation is a dog with a sword in its mouth. I respect it, not enthused by it. C. I played Pokemon Sword, so per the theme of this video, you would think that I would be biased towards Zation, but I am not. I actually prefer Zamazenta, only because when they were shown to the public for the first time, all I saw on Tumblr and Twitter was Zamazenta compared to that picture of the golden retriever with a children's chair on its head, and that brought me more joy than you would ever know. B. Eternatus. Just a big, scary alien boy. I'd like to think Eternatus would come pick me up at the airport. You know, I'd just be a little sassy about it. I'd buy him a coffee, we'd call it a day. B. And the most recent legendary Pokemon, still from Galar, but the Isle of Armor, Kubfu. While I respect the fact that Kubfu is a play on words of Kung Fu, and we stand a good pun in this house, I'm really not excited about his design, and that little pouty lip just makes me feel like he's gonna throw a tantrum. D. Urshifu. The baby has grown up, and it now looks like a Street Fighter character, and Street Fighter is pretty fun. C. Well, we finally made it. Here is my friend tier list in all of its glory. If you agree or disagree with anything on the list, go ahead and let me know in the comments. And while you're there, share your reasons as to why you like or dislike certain legendaries. This was pretty fun. Maybe I'll do it again for all the mythical Pokemon and I'll finally get to make my Zarude Sandstorm joke. If you're still here, thanks for watching. And if you're interested, consider subscribing so you can see what I get up to from time to time.